Today's MTG box analysis will focus on the opening of a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Epilogue Booster Box that took place on June 7th, 2023. We'll begin by comparing the cards that we saw in the box to the cards that we were eligible to obtain inside of an Epilogue Booster Pack. Then we'll examine the non-foil and foil coverage of the set, along with coverage by Rarity and Duplication. Then we'll review the current set value and break down the actual observed value for today's box. Finally, we'll conclude with a summary of the box as well as a comparison of the Epilogue booster boxes opened thus far on the channel. If you want to go deeper into the analysis and see all of the metrics for this box and more than 100 others, simply join the channel at the Give Me the Data level. Let's get things started by reviewing the contents of the box in comparison to the cards that we were eligible to see. Using this chart, we can see the foils we observed in orange, the non-foils in green, and the cards from the set that we were eligible to obtain in gray as the baseline. In the non-foil space, we saw between 7 and 11 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, plus 24 multicolor cards. We also saw 17 showcase and 2 retro frames in non-foil. In the foil space, we saw between 3 and 5 cards for each of the primary colors of Magic, plus 4 foil showcase and 1 foil retro frame. Moving into coverage, in the non-foil space, we saw 45 unique cards out of a possible 100, giving us 45% coverage of the set. We saw 100% of the non-foil standard frame cards for black inside of this box. In the foil space, we saw 24 of the 100 cards, giving us 24% coverage. This time around, we didn't see 100% of anything, but we did see 80% of the black cards in standard frame. Pivoting to coverage by rarity, the Aftermath set does not contain any commons, just uncommons, rares, and mythics. In today's box, we saw 80% of the uncommons in non-foil, along with 16 unique rares for 32% coverage and 5 mythics for 25% coverage. In the foil space, we saw 63% of the uncommons, 3 foil rares for 6% coverage, and 2 foil mythics for 10% coverage. In total, we saw 24 rares and 7 mythics inside these 24 packs. Now let's take a look at the true duplication inside of today's box. Despite the set only having 50 named cards and us opening 120 cards, only 33 of the cards were duplicated 51 times for a box duplication rate of 43%. This is on par or less than most draft booster boxes. This chart shows all 100 cards from the Aftermath set that we can pull from an Epilogue booster using non-foil market prices as of June 5th, 2023. Currently, the set features 10 cards valued over $10. The top 5 are going to be Tyvar the Bellicose in Showcase, valued at $13.70. Nicholas, Captive Kingpin, also in Showcase at $18.64. The Retro Frame Karn Legacy Reforged at $27.85. And Nissa Resurgent Animus, valued at $34.76 in Standard Frame and $51.60 in Retro Frame. The set also features 8 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 22 cards valued between $1 and $5. The remaining 60 cards are currently valued under $1. If you were to add up the non-foil market prices of all 50 standard frame and 50 showcase frame cards in non-foil, you'd be looking at a grand total market value of $328.93. Now let's take a look at the actual value that we saw in today's box, starting off in the non-foil space. I'd say we did okay seeing 1 of the 10 cards valued over $10. This, of course, was the Karn Legacy Reforged, valued at $11.76. We also saw 3 cards valued between $5 and $10, and 5 cards valued between $1 and $5. The other 82 non-foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. In the foil space, we also saw 1 card valued over $10, and again, it was the Karn Living Legacy, but this time it was the Retro Frame in foil, valued at $29.08. We also saw 2 cards valued between $1 and $5, but the other 26 foils in the box are currently valued less than $1. So how did this box perform? Well, I purchased this box from trollandtoad.com. Their price for the box was $64.95. However, using a promo code, I was able to save a little, making my price $61.70. You can use my code MTGBOX5 at checkout to save 5% off any item directly sold by Troll and Toad and support the channel at the same time. Today's Epilogue Booster Box contained 24 packs with 5 cards each, allowing us to see 120 cards plus up to 24 tokens. The 23 tokens that we saw currently have a market value of $3.01. The 89 uncommons that we saw are currently valued at $11.60. The 24 rares have a current market value of $17.66, and the 7 mythics that we saw are valued at $63.39. Add it all up, and the grand total for this box comes up to be $95.66 in current market value, which makes this box a gain of $33.96 and a return of 155% of my purchase price in card value. Now, for those of you interested in cards valued just over $2, the numbers look like this. In total, we saw 8 cards valued over $2 in this box, and they have a current combined value of $68.70, which means that those 8 cards represent 72% of the total box value and more than paid for the box. Now let's compare the 2 Epilogue booster boxes opened thus far on the channel to see what they're producing. The following table shows the duplication and coverage for today's box on the left and the Epilogue booster box opened on May 17th on the right. As you can see, the duplication rate differed by 6%, however this led to an 8% swing in non-foil coverage. Both boxes were, however, pretty consistent in their foil coverage of the set. As far as the number of cards by rarity, we saw between 86 and 89 uncommons per box, 24 to 28 rares, and 6 to 7 mythics inside of the 24 packs. From a value perspective, I've adjusted the values of the May 17th box to today's box prices so that way we can do a true apples-to-apples comparison. As you can see from the numbers, we've seen a pretty similar breakdown in the number of cards by dollar range, with both boxes producing 2 cards valued over $10. What has differed is the quality of those cards. In today's box, we saw 2 Karn Legacy Reforged, whereas on May 17th, we saw a non-foil Nissa Resurgent Animist, as well as a Retro Frame Karn. This led to the previous box producing about 46% more value than today's box, with a grand total of $134.72 in current market value. Thank you so much for watching. I want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the channel members. Your support helps fund this operation and allows me to create the content that you all enjoy. If you're not yet a channel member, I invite you to consider becoming one. By joining, you'll gain early access to videos and many other perks. If you're interested in supporting the channel but don't want to become a member, there are several other ways that you can show your support. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue with the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, do something amazing.